Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Super English Talks. I'm your host, Mike, and today, I am absolutely thrilled to be doing a deep dive into a topic that many of you have asked about, and one that I'm personally incredibly passionate about. Using movies and TV shows to learn English. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Movies, TV shows, that's just entertainment, right? How can that really help me master a language? And that's a fair question. For a long time, even I viewed movie night as purely a way to unwind, a delightful escape from the day's demands. But over the years, through countless discussions with language learners, experts, and even experiencing it firsthand, I've come to understand that movies and TV aren't just entertainment. They can actually be a secret weapon for mastering English, a genuinely transformative tool that many learners overlook or simply don't know how to leverage effectively. I've always felt like passively watching films helped me pick up new phrases here and there, and even just get a better feel for how English is actually spoken. It's almost like you're learning without even realizing it. And that's precisely what makes this method so incredibly powerful and effective. You're not stuck in a classroom memorizing dry vocabulary lists or repeating stilted, unnatural textbook dialogues. Instead, you're immersed in authentic English, the kind of English native speakers actually use in their daily lives. It's with all its nuances, rhythm, and unexpected twists. Think about it. You'll encounter real-world slang, those sometimes baffling, but utterly essential idioms, and even the tricky regional accents that differentiate English speakers from various parts of the world. This is English in action, in context, alive and vibrant. And because it's tied to compelling stories and characters you care about, the language sticks in your mind in a way that rote memorization simply can't achieve. Your brain naturally connects the words and phrases to the visual cues, the emotions, and the narrative, creating far stronger memory pathways. It's engaging, it's fun, and it's highly effective. But here's the key question, the one that truly unlocks the potential of this method. How do we turn a simple movie night into an actual, productive language learning experience? That's what we're going to figure out together today. It's not about passively watching, it's about being more strategic and actively engaging with the content you're consuming. We'll explore practical techniques like using subtitles strategically. And yes, there's a strategy to it. How to choose movies and TV shows that are just right for your current English level. And even how to take effective notes on those cool new expressions and vocabulary you come across. And don't worry, I won't just leave you hanging with a bunch of theory. We've got some specific movie and TV show recommendations for you, whether you're a beginner, an intermediate, or an advanced learner. From animated classics to edge your seat, thrillers and compelling dramas, we've got you covered. So, grab your popcorn and let's dive in. Segment 1. Why movies and TV shows are your ultimate English learning tool, Mike. Let's start with the fundamental question. Why are movies and TV shows such an awesome, unparalleled tool for learning English? Beyond the obvious enjoyment, what makes them so effective? 1.1 Authentic, real-world English. The first and most crucial reason is exposure to authentic English. Unlike many textbooks or structured language courses that might present somewhat artificial or overly simplified dialogues, movies and TV shows offer a window into how native speakers actually communicate. This means you're hearing natural speed and rhythm. Conversations flow at a natural pace, with all the hesitations, interjections, and overlapping speech that happen in real life. This trains your ear to process fast-paced spoken English, which is a massive leap from carefully enunciated, slow academic recordings. Everyday slang and colloquialisms. Textbooks often shy away from slang, but it's an integral part of everyday communication. Movies and TV are rich with slang and colloquialisms that make conversations sound natural and current. Learning these phrases in context is far more effective than just memorizing a list. For example, instead of "How are you doing?" you might hear "What's up?" or "How's it going?" Phrases you'll encounter constantly outside of formal settings. Idiomatic expressions. English is teeming with idioms, phrases where the meaning isn't obvious from the individual words. Spill the beans, break a leg, it's raining cats. And dogs, these can be baffling if learned in isolation. Let's spill the tea in a scene where they're clearly gossiping. The context immediately helps you grasp that it means to reveal juicy or gossipy information. This contextual learning is incredibly powerful for internalizing these tricky expressions. Varied accents and dialects. The English-speaking world is vast and diverse, with countless accents: British RP, Cockney, Scottish, American General, American, Southern, Bostonian, Australian, Canadian, Irish, etc. Textbooks typically focus on one standard accent. Movies and TV expose you to a rich tapestry of accents, preparing you for real-world interactions and broadening your listening comprehension skills. You'll learn to differentiate between them, which is a key step towards true fluency. It's like learning without even realizing it. You're not just studying. You're experiencing the language. 1.2 Cultural immersion and nuances beyond the words themselves. Movies and TV shows are a powerful window into the culture of English-speaking countries. This is where true understanding begins, because language is inextricably linked to culture, humor, and wit. What's funny in one culture might not be in another. By watching comedies, you start to pick up on the nuances of English humor, the dry wit, sarcasm, slapstick, and cultural references that make native speakers laugh. Understanding humor is a huge step towards cultural fluency. Social cues and etiquette. How do characters greet each other? How do they express disagreement respectfully? What are the unspoken rules of conversation or interaction in different social settings, for example, a formal dinner versus a casual get-together? You learn about social dynamics, politeness levels, and appropriate responses. This is crucial for navigating real-life conversations effectively. Body language and nonverbal communication. A significant part of communication is nonverbal. Movies allow you to observe how body language, facial expressions, and gestures complement spoken words? Does a character's shrug convey indifference? Does a raised eyebrow indicate skepticism? These visual cues provide invaluable context for understanding the full message. Even when you don't catch every word, values and beliefs, stories often reflect the underlying values, beliefs, and societal norms of the culture they originate from. You'll gain insights into family dynamics, work ethics, political views, and historical contexts that shape how people think and behave. It's like a mini cultural immersion right from your living room. For example, watching a British period drama like Downton Abbey will give you insights into social class and etiquette of a certain era, while an American sitcom like Friends will highlight dynamics of friendship and independent living in a modern, urban setting. Asterisk, asterisk, 1.3 pronunciation and intonation mastery. And let's not forget about pronunciation. Hearing actors speak naturally can really help you fine-tune your own accent and start to sound more like a native speaker. Mimicking native sounds, you hear how words are linked together, where the stress falls in a sentence, and the rising and falling patterns of intonation that convey emotion and meaning. This is far more effective than just reading phonetic transcriptions. Intonation and rhythm. English is a stress-timed language, meaning certain syllables and words are emphasized more than others. This creates a distinct rhythm. By mimicking actors, you start to internalize this rhythm, making your own speech sound more natural and less robotic. Try clapping along to the rhythm of the dialogue or tapping your foot to the beat. It really helps you feel the musicality of the language. Exposure to accents, as mentioned before. You get to hear a variety of accents. This helps you train your ear to understand different English speakers, and if you choose to adopt an accent that you particularly like or find useful. For example, if you aim for a clearer general American accent, watching shows predominantly featuring that accent will be beneficial. Asterisk, asterisk.
1.4 Motivation and engagement. Perhaps one of the most underrated benefits is motivation. Learning a language can be challenging, and sometimes it can feel like a chore. Movies and TV shows transform this process into an enjoyable, engaging activity. Intrinsic enjoyment. When you genuinely enjoy the content, learning doesn't feel like work. You're intrinsically motivated to understand what's happening, to follow the plot, and to connect with the characters. This sustained interest keeps you coming back for more, leading to consistent exposure, sense of accomplishment. As you progress and start understanding more without relying heavily on subtitles, you'll feel a powerful sense of accomplishment. This positive reinforcement fuels your desire to continue learning and pushes you towards greater fluency. Relatability, you connect with characters, their struggles, and their triumphs. This emotional connection makes the language more memorable and gives you topics to discuss with others. This brings me to a really inspiring story I came across about someone who actually learned English primarily through watching movies. This person's journey is incredible, and it truly highlights the power of passion and consistent effort in language acquisition. They shared some fantastic Practical tips like repeating their favorite lines out loud, writing movie reviews in English, and even finding English-speaking friends through their shared love of film. It just shows you that when you genuinely enjoy something, when you're truly passionate about it, the learning just becomes so much easier, more natural, and more effective. Asterisk, okay? So we've talked about why movies are such an awesome tool for learning English. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the actionable steps of how to actually use them effectively. It's about being strategic with how you watch .2.1 subtitle strategy. The training wheels approach 1. Of the first things we need to address is the use of subtitles. They can be super helpful, but it's critical to use them strategically. You don't want to become so reliant on subtitles that you're not actually listening to the spoken language. You're just reading. It's like having training wheels on a bicycle. Eventually, you want to be able to ride without them. Here's a progressive approach. Phase 1, native. Language subtitles beginner, plot understanding for absolute beginners or when watching a particularly complex film for the first time. Start with subtitles in your native language. This is great for getting a full grasp of the plot, understanding the general meaning, and making sure you don't feel completely lost. Your brain can relax and simply follow the story. Don't spend too long in this phase. It's just to build initial familiarity. Asterisk, phase 2, English subtitles. Connecting written and spoken. Once you're comfortable with the plot, or if you're an intermediate learner, challenge yourself by switching to English subtitles. This is where the magic really starts to happen. You're connecting the written word with the spoken word, which is awesome for building vocabulary. You see new words spelled out and hear them pronounced simultaneously. Understanding sentence structure. You observe how native speakers construct sentences, helping you internalize grammar rules naturally. Pronunciation link. You can link the sounds you hear with the written form, reinforcing your auditory recognition. Contextual clues. If you miss a word, the subtitle helps you catch it. If you hear a word you know, but it sounds different, the subtitle clarifies it. Asterisk, no subtitles, ultimate listening workout. The real magic happens when you start watching without subtitles altogether. Yes, I know, it can be a little bit intimidating at first, maybe even a lot intimidating. It feels like jumping into the deep end of the pool, but trust me, this is the ultimate workout for your listening skills. It forces your brain to actively process the auditory input without a safety net. The more you do it, the stronger your comprehension becomes. Important point. Remember, you don't have to understand every single word to follow the story. That's such an important point that many learners get stuck on. It's about getting the main idea, understanding the gist, and using the context, the visuals, the characters' emotions, the surrounding dialogue to kind of fill in the gaps. Your brain is incredibly good at inferring, meaning when given enough context, focus on overall comprehension, not word-for-word translation. This trains your brain to think in English rather than constantly translating asterisk to point to active engagement techniques beyond passive watching beyond subtitles. There are several active engagement techniques to maximize your learning. Pause and rewind. Don't be afraid to pause and rewind, especially if there's a particular phrase, a piece of slang, or a pronunciation that you want to get just right. Repetition is absolutely key in language learning. Watch that tricky sentence 3, 4, 5 times until you really hear and understand it. Asterisk, asterisk, repeat lines. Aloud mimicking, echoing. Here's a fun and incredibly effective tip I've used myself. Try repeating lines along with the actors. Mimic their intonation, their pronunciation, their rhythm, and even their emotional delivery. It's like a mini acting class, and it directly helps your speaking skills by training your mouth and tongue muscles to produce English sounds correctly and naturally. Focus on how they say something, not just what they say. Try to match their tone, their speed, their emphasis. This builds muscle memory for speaking English. Asterisk, asterisk, shadowing the vocal workout. As you get more comfortable with mimicking, you can even try shadowing. Hold on, what's shadowing? You might ask. It's basically speaking along with the actors in real time, like you're their shadow. You're trying to keep pace with them, matching their speed, rhythm, and intonation as closely as possible. It's a fantastic way to work on your fluency, pronunciation, and even thought-to-speech. Processing. Think of it like a vocal workout for your English muscles. It forces you to process and produce language simultaneously, pushing your fluency boundaries. Asterisk. Asterisk, break viewing into chunks. One thing that often trips people up is just the sheer number of words and phrases in a full movie. It can feel overwhelming to try and conquer a whole film in one go, especially if you're just starting out or focusing on active learning. Instead of a movie marathon, think of it more like a series of language sprints. Set a realistic goal. Maybe watch one scene, a 10 to 20-minute segment, or a single episode per day. The key is to really focus on understanding that segment thoroughly. Quality over quantity is paramount here. Thoroughly analyzing a short clip, pausing, rewinding, repeating, and taking notes is way more beneficial than passively watching a whole film and not absorbing much. It makes a lot of sense. You wouldn't try to learn a new physical skill by cramming it all at once. You break it down into manageable steps. Asterisk, asterisk, pay attention to rhythm and intonation, the music of English. I touched on this earlier, but it deserves more emphasis. English is a stress-timed language. This means certain syllables and words are emphasized while others are reduced or skipped. This creates a musical quality to the language. Try clapping along to the rhythm of the dialogue or tapping your foot to the beat. Listen for where the stress falls in words and sentences. For example, in "What are you doing?" what and doing are often stressed, while are you is reduced to a quick AR. This helps you internalize the natural flow of English speech, making your own speaking sound much more natural. It's like finding the music within the language. Asterisk, asterisk, leverage soundtracks and lyrics. Movies often have amazing soundtracks, and those songs can be another fantastic tool for learning. Pay close attention to the lyrics, search for them online, read them, sing along, and try to mimic the singer's pronunciation and rhythm. Songs often feature common idioms, slang, and narrative structures in a memorable format. It's a fun, low-pressure way to improve your fluency and intonation while enjoying the music. Many popular songs tell stories or express emotions, providing context for the language used. Asterisk, slow down the audio. What about those times when the dialogue is just too fast? Or there's a really strong, unfamiliar accent? Don't worry. Almost all media players on YouTube, Netflix, VLC, etc. have an option to slow down the audio playback speed. This can be incredibly helpful, especially when you're encountering fast-paced dialogue or unfamiliar accents. It allows you to hear each word clearly, grasp the pronunciation, and process the information at a more comfortable pace. You can gradually increase the speed as your listening comprehension improves. Asterisk, effective note-taking. Note-taking can be super valuable, but don't let it interrupt your enjoyment of the movie too much. One approach is to jot down new words or phrases as you watch, maybe just the first few letters or a quick keyword, and then look them up later after the scene or episode is over. Or you could pause after a scene or a significant dialogue, and then make notes on what you understood, what was challenging, and any cool vocabulary you came across. This helps you process the information actively and identify areas where you need more practice. Remember, your notes don't have to be just words. You can sketch out scenes, diagram relationships between characters, or even write your own brief summaries of the plot in English. It's all about finding what works best for your learning style and memory retention. Asterisk.
Segment 3. Movie and TV show recommendations by English level asterisk. Okay? So we've talked a lot about active viewing techniques. Now let's get to the heart of it. What are some specific movies and TV series that we recommend for English learners at different levels? Remember, the goal is to find content that challenges you just enough without overwhelming you. Asterisk. 3.14 Beginners. Clear dialogue and visual context for beginners. Animated movies are truly fantastic. The language is often clear and simple, designed for a broad audience, and the visuals provide a ton of context clues, making it easier to understand the plot even if you miss some words. Plus, they're just plain fun and enjoyable for all ages. Recommendations for beginners: animated classics, Toy Story 1995. The dialogue is straightforward. The characters are lovable, and the story is easy to follow. You'll learn everyday phrases related to friendship, adventure, and toys, of course. The clear voices make it excellent for pronunciation practice. The Incredibles 2004. A superhero story with clear character voices, action that clarifies meaning, and relatively simple sentence structures. Great for action verbs and family-related vocabulary. Finding Nemo 2003, visually stunning, with clear, distinct voices for each character. The underwater world provides rich visual context for understanding the narrative. Vocabulary related to nature, travel, and emotion is abundant. Frozen 2013. Catchy songs with clear lyrics, which you can look up. Simple dialogue and a powerful story about sisterhood. Great for learning basic emotional vocabulary and conversational. English Zootopia 2016 features a diverse cast of animal characters with distinct personalities. The dialogue is well-paced, and the humor is often visual, making it accessible. It also introduces basic concepts of societal roles and ambitions. Why these are great for beginners? They use generally simple and direct language, often with repetitive phrases that aid memorization. The strong visual storytelling means you don't need to understand every single word to grasp the main plot. The voice actors typically have very clear articulation. Asterisk, asterisk, 3.24 intermediate. Learners, expanding vocabulary and everyday scenarios, you move into the intermediate level. You can start exploring a wider range of genres. Look for movies and TV shows with clear, natural dialogue, but with more complex plots and slightly more varied vocabulary. The goal here is to expand your conversational English and understand more nuanced expressions. Recommendations for intermediate learners: character-driven dramas, comedies, the Harry Potter series 2001 to 2011. These films are fantastic because most people are already familiar with the story. This familiarity allows you to focus intensely on the language, picking up on British accents, fantasy-related vocabulary, and a great mix of formal and informal dialogue as the characters grow up. There's also a significant amount of dialogue, providing extensive listening practice. Forrest Gump, 1994. While Forrest's speech is slow and deliberate, making it easy to follow, the film covers decades of American history and culture, offering a rich context for understanding a wide range of vocabulary and cultural references. The themes are universal, and the story is compelling. The Social Network 2010 features fast-paced, intelligent dialogue, particularly good for learning about technology, business, and social dynamics. While some parts are quick, the clear enunciation of the actors, especially Jesse Eisenberg, makes it manageable for intermediate learners. To pick up on new vocabulary related to innovation and entrepreneurship, The Pursuit of Happiness 2006, a powerful drama with clear, emotional dialogue. It's excellent for everyday conversational English, especially dialogues related to challenges, perseverance, and aspirations. Will Smith's clear speech is very helpful. Notting Hill, 1999. A classic romantic comedy with a blend of British and American accents. Hugh Grant versus Julia Roberts. The dialogue is natural, witty, and full of common British idioms and expressions related to relationships and everyday life. Great for understanding conversational flow and humor. TV series for intermediate learners, Friends. T94 to 2004. This is often considered the gold standard for intermediate English learners. The dialogue is clear, humorous, and focuses on everyday situations and relationships among a group of young adults in New York City. The episodes are relatively short, making them digestible, and the repetitive nature of sitcoms reinforces vocabulary and phrases. You'll learn common idioms, phrasal, verbs, and conversational fillers, The Office US version. 2005 to 2013. A mockumentary-style comedy, great for understanding workplace English, sarcasm, and different personality types. The dialogue is very natural, often overlapping, providing a good challenge, but the context of a mundane office makes many situations relatable. Modern Family, 2009 to 2020. Another fantastic sitcom focusing on three interconnected families. It offers a wide range of vocabulary related to family life, technology, and social interactions, with clear dialogue and diverse character voices. The humor is often situational and relatable. Why these are great for intermediate learners? They offer a great mix of everyday language, common slang, and cultural references, building on foundational knowledge. The dialogue is generally clear, but the complexity of plots and relationships starts to increase, pushing your comprehension. Asterisk 3.3 for advanced learners. Complex themes and diverse accents. 4. Advanced learners, the sky's the limit. You can tackle movies with more complex themes, fast-paced dialogue, intricate plot structures, and even strong regional accents. The goal here is to refine your understanding of nuanced meaning, expand specialized vocabulary, and master challenging listening situations. Recommendations for advanced learners: complex dramas, thrillers, period pieces. The Godfather, 1972, a masterpiece of cinema with incredibly rich, complex dialogue that requires careful listening. It's excellent for understanding subtle power dynamics, formal yet intimidating language, and specific vocabulary related to crime and family sagas. The accents are often American regional. Pulp Fiction, 1994, Quentin Tarantino's iconic film features highly stylized, often fast-paced, and very naturalistic dialogue. It's fantastic for learning modern slang, cultural references, and understanding unique conversational rhythms, though it can be quite challenging due to its non-linear narrative and specific jargon. Downton Abbey TV series, 2010 to 2015, a British period drama that will truly push your listening skills and vocabulary to the next level. You'll encounter a wide range of British accents, from the refined upstairs family to the working class downstairs staff. Formal and informal register, and vocabulary specific to the early 20th century. It's a masterclass in nuanced dialogue and social hierarchy. The Social Dilemma 2020 documentary. A highly relevant documentary about social media's impact. The language is academic, technical, and often fast-paced, featuring interviews with experts. Excellent for learning vocabulary related to technology, psychology, and societal issues. Sherlock TV series, 2010 to 2017, a modern BBC adaptation starring Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman. It features incredibly fast, intricate, and witty dialogue, especially from Sherlock. Perfect for challenging your listening comprehension and expanding your vocabulary, particularly with British English. Game of Thrones TV series, 2011 to 2019. While a fantasy series, it's renowned for its rich vocabulary, complex political dialogue, and diverse accents, mostly British variations. The intricate plot lines and character interactions demand high-level listening and contextual understanding. Why these are great for advanced learners. They offer fast-paced conversations, complex plots, a wide array of accents, and often deal with nuanced or specialized topics. This pushes your listening and vocabulary to the highest level, preparing you for any real-world English interaction. Asterisk 3 point for the power of rewatching GAND, remember? No matter your level, don't underestimate the power of rewatching your favorite movies and TV shows in English. When you already know the plot, when you already know what's going to happen, you can truly zero in on the language itself and appreciate all the nuances of the dialogue. Deeper comprehension, you'll pick up on subtle jokes, idioms you missed the first time, and cultural references that flew over your head. Pronunciation, refinement. You can focus entirely on how words are pronounced, linked, and stressed without the pressure of following the story, vocabulary, reinforcement. Hearing the same words and phrases repeated in different contexts across multiple viewings helps solidify them in your long-term memory. Fluency practice. It provides a comfortable environment for active practice. Techniques like shadowing and repeating lines, as you're not distracted by new plot points. It's like rediscovering a treasure. You get to experience it in a whole new way, and the language acquisition becomes incredibly profound. And don't be afraid to experiment with different genres and accents. The more diverse your movie and TV choices, the more well-rounded your English skills will become, preparing you for the full spectrum of English-speaking interactions.
Segment 4. Social learning, vocabulary expansion, and cultural immersion. Deep dive, asterisk. We've covered a lot of ground already. The benefits of using movies to learn English. How to choose the right content, and some initial techniques to make your viewing more active and effective. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Now, let's delve even deeper into active listening strategies, how to expand your vocabulary effectively, and how movies provide incredible insights into English-speaking cultures. 4.1. Social learning beyond solo watching movies. Doesn't have to be a solo activity. You can absolutely turn it into a social experience that significantly boosts your speaking skills. Find an English-speaking movie buddy. If possible, find an English-speaking friend or a fellow language learner with whom you can watch a movie and discuss it afterward. It's a fun, low-pressure way to practice speaking and get different perspectives on the film. Its plot, characters, and even the language used. You can compare notes on new vocabulary or challenging phrases. Discussion prompts for movie buddies. What was your favorite scene and why? Which character did you relate to the most? Were there any phrases or slang you didn't understand? What did you think of characters' accent? Did anything in the movie surprise you about culture, country? Asterisk. Join online movie communities and forums. If you don't have a buddy nearby, the internet is a vast resource. There are tons of online communities, forums, and social media groups dedicated to movies and TV shows. Share reviews, write your own movie reviews in English, and share them. This practices your writing skills, forces you to articulate your thoughts, and exposes you to feedback, participate in discussions, engage in discussions about plots, characters, themes, and even specific lines of dialogue. This is a fantastic way to connect with native English speakers and other learners who share your love of film, language, exchange partners. Many language exchange platforms allow you to find partners interested in discussing movies. You can even watch a film together remotely and then have a conversation about it. Some groups specifically organize virtual movie nights, followed by conversation practice, asterisk 4.2 vocabulary expansion, from passive recognition to active. Use movies are a gold mine for expanding your word bank. But how do you go beyond just recognizing words to actually using them? Create flashcards for new words and phrases. One of the most effective strategies is to create flashcards for new words, phrases, or idioms you encounter. Front side, write the new word or phrase. Back side, write the definition in English if possible, or a concise translation, an example sentence from the movie, and then your own original example sentence. Context is key. Always include the context in which you heard the word. For example, if you learned spill the tea, note character X said, let's spill the tea when gossiping about why. This helps you recall the appropriate usage. Digital versus physical. You can use physical flashcards or digital flashcard apps like Anki or which often incorporate spaced repetition algorithms to optimize your memorization. Asterisk conquering idioms. Ah, yes, idioms. Those tricky phrases that have a figurative meaning different from the literal meaning of the individual words. They can be confusing, but movies are a fantastic way to learn them in contextual clues. As discussed earlier, pay close attention to the situation. If a character says, he's pulling my leg, and they're smiling or laughing, you can infer it means they're teasing or joking. The visual and emotional context is your best friend. Confirm and practice. Once you have a strong guess, look it up in an idiom dictionary or online to confirm your understanding. Then, for extra practice, try creating your own dialogues or short skits using the idioms you've learned. This sounds fun, and it truly is. It's taking those new phrases for a test drive, embedding them in your active vocabulary. Phrasal verbs. Don't forget phrasal verbs. Turn off, look up, get along. Movies are full of these, and learning them in context is much easier than memorizing lists. Pay attention to how the verb and preposition combine to create a new meaning. Asterisk vocabulary notebook for deeper learning. Beyond flashcards, keep a dedicated vocabulary notebook for mover-related words. Categorized. You might create sections for slang, horomaru dialogu character descriptions, emotional vocabulary, or workplace English if you're watching an office drama. Synonyms, antonyms. Note down synonyms and antonyms for new words. Collocations. Pay attention to which words frequently go together. For example, heavy rain, not strong rain. Movies are great for picking up natural collocations, verb conjugations, If you're focusing on grammar, note down how new verbs are conjugated or used in different tenses in the movies. Dialogue.4.3. Cultural insights. Beyond language, this is where it gets really interesting. How movies and TV can give you a genuine crash course in a new culture without ever leaving your couch. You're not just learning the language, you're getting a profound glimpse into the customs, values, social cues, and humor of English-speaking cultures. Observe social interactions, greetings and farewells. How do characters greet each other in formal versus informal settings? Do they shake hands, hug, or simply nod? Conflict resolution. How do characters express anger, resolve disagreements, or apologize? Is direct confrontation common, or are people more indirect? Body. Language and gestures. Pay attention to how characters use their hands. Maintain eye contact or avoid it, and use facial expressions to convey meaning. A casual shrug, a knowing look, or a specific hand gesture can communicate volumes, humor, styles. A British comedy might introduce you to dry wit and sarcasm, where people say the opposite of what they mean for humorous effect. An American sitcom might showcase the importance of quick banter and pop culture references. Understanding these different styles is key to getting the jokes and appreciating the cultural nuances. Food and daily life. Observe what people eat, how they dine, their living spaces, their commutes, and their leisure activities. These details offer insights into daily life and routines. Understanding accents and regional variations. As mentioned, different regions have different accents. If you're interested in a particular English-speaking country, try watching movies and TV shows predominantly from that region to get a feel for their unique way of speaking. British accents. Downton Abbey for a received pronunciation, Peaky Blinders for a strong Birmingham accent, or EastEnders for Cockney. American accents. Friends for general American, The Help for Southern U.S. accents, or The Departed for Boston accents. Australian accents, Bluey animated for all ages, or Home and Away TV series. Irish accents, Derry Girls TV series, or Once movie. This exposure trains your ear to different phonetic patterns, intonations, and common phrases specific to those regions, making you a more versatile listener. Asterisk.
Segment 5. The inspiring story and practical application. Let's circle back to that incredibly inspiring story I mentioned earlier about the individual who learned English primarily through movies. This individual, who grew up in Morocco, had a deep passion for American culture and cinema. They were basically watching 3 to 4 movies a day, consistently, for several years. It's an amazing level of dedication. And after a few years of this intense immersion, they were able to speak English fluently, authentically, and confidently. It just goes to show you the power of passion and consistent effort. Their story highlights a few key takeaways that we can all apply. 5.1. Find movies that truly resonate with youth. First is the absolute importance of finding movies and TV shows that truly resonate with you. Don't force yourself to watch genres you dislike just because someone said it's good for learning. Learning should be enjoyable. Choose content that you're genuinely interested in, that you would watch even if you weren't learning English. When you're excited about the story, the characters, or the topic, the learning will happen naturally, almost effortlessly. Your brain is more receptive when it's engaged and enjoying the process. 5.2. Embrace repetition. They also emphasized the critical importance of repetition. They watched some of their favorite movies multiple times, not just once or twice, but 5, 10, even 20 times. This seems extreme, but it incredibly helps solidify their understanding of the language. It's like listening to your favorite song over and over again. Eventually, you just know all the lyrics by heart. You know every nuance of the melody. Repetition reinforces vocabulary, sentence structures, idioms, and even intonation patterns, embedding them deeply into your long-term memory. Don't be afraid to rewatch and rewatch. Each viewing will reveal new layers of meaning and language you missed before. 5.3 Actively use the new language finally. And perhaps, most crucially, they stressed the importance of actively using the new language they were learning. They weren't just passively absorbing information. They were putting it into practice. Writing movie reviews in English. This forces you to organize your thoughts, use descriptive vocabulary, and practice grammar in a meaningful context. Joining online film forums, engaging in discussions about movies, commenting on other people's reviews, and sharing your opinions pushes you to actively use the language in a communicative setting, making English speaking friends through their love of movies. This provides authentic opportunities for conversational practice, where you can apply the vocabulary and phrases you've learned in real time. Low-pressure conversations. It creates a natural feedback loop and builds confidence. This individual story is a fantastic reminder that learning English through movies and TV shows is more than just a technique. It's a way to embrace a passion, explore new worlds, connect with people from different cultures, and ultimately embark on a powerful journey of personal growth and language mastery. Asterisk, asterisk.
Segment 6. Final practical advice and encouragement. Asterisk, asterisk. We've covered so much ground today. We've talked about the incredible benefits of using movies and TV shows to learn English, how to choose the right ones, active viewing techniques, social learning strategies, effective vocabulary expansion, understanding cultural nuances, and even real-life examples of people who have mastered English through film. What a journey it's been. I truly hope that all of you listening are now feeling incredibly inspired and empowered to turn your next movie or TV night into a fun, productive, and truly transformative language learning adventure. So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with some final words of encouragement and a summary of some of the most practical tips. 6.1. Summary of key practical tips. Strategic subtitle use. Start with native, move to English, and eventually challenge yourself with no subtitles. Use them as training wheels, not a permanent crutch. Chunk your viewing. Don't try to conquer a whole film at once. Break it into manageable 10 to 20-minute segments for focused, active learning, active listening techniques. Pause and rewind. Don't hesitate to go back and listen to tricky lines multiple times. Mimic and shadow. Practice repeating lines aloud. Matching intonation, rhythm, and speed. This is crucial for pronunciation and fluency. Listen for the music. Pay attention to the rhythm and stress patterns of English speech. Clap or tap along. Slow down the audio. Use your media player's speed settings when dialogue is too fast or accents are challenging. Effective note-taking. Jot down new words, phrases, and idioms. Create flashcards with context and your own example sentences. Keep a dedicated vocabulary notebook. Leverage soundtracks. Listen to movie songs. Read the lyrics and sing along to improve fluency and vocabulary. Socialize your learning. Watch with a buddy. Join online communities. Write reviews and participate in discussions to practice speaking and writing. Choose wisely. Clear dialogue. Opt for films and shows with natural, understandable speech. Diverse characters, settings. Expose yourself to a range of vocabulary and accents. Genre variety. Explore romantic comedies, dramas, animated films, documentaries, and TV series for different language contexts. Rewatch. Revisit your favorites multiple times for deeper comprehension and language reinforcement. Embrace the process. Don't aim for perfection. Immediately focus on understanding the main idea, using context clues, and gradually building your skills. Celebrate small victories. 6.2 Final encouragement. Learning a new language can definitely be challenging. There will be moments of frustration, confusion, and perhaps even doubt. But it's also an incredibly rewarding journey, one that opens up new worlds, new perspectives, and new connections. When you incorporate movies and TV series into your learning routine, it transforms this journey into such a fun, engaging, and deeply immersive experience. So embrace the power of storytelling. Make language learning a part of your entertainment routine. Let the captivating narratives and compelling characters be your guides. And most importantly, enjoy the journey. Every movie you watch, every line you repeat, every new word or idiom you learn, it all adds up. You're building your fluency brick by entertaining brick, one movie or TV episode at a time. Remember, consistency is far more important than intensity. Even if you only watch 20 minutes a day, but you do it actively and consistently, you will see remarkable progress over time. Don't be afraid to try new genres or step outside your comfort zone with accents. The more diverse your exposure, the more versatile your English will become. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive. It's been an absolute pleasure to explore these strategies with you. I sincerely hope this guide empowers you to make English learning an integral, enjoyable part of your daily life. Happy watching, everyone! Keep exploring those stories, keep listening actively, and keep practicing those new phrases. You are absolutely on your way to fluency. Asterisk if you found this deep dive helpful for your English listening and speaking practice. Please hit the LIKE button Don't forget to subscribe to the Super English Talks channel for more advanced English lessons and insightful discussions. Leave a comment below. What is your favorite movie or TV show for learning English and why? Share your recommendations.